Let's conclude this module by touching on Cosmos DB APIs and security. Azure Cosmos DB offers 5 different APIs. The first API is the SQL API. So if you are creating a new application, it is recommended to go with the SQL API. This API is also known as the Core API. The other API Cosmos DB offers is the MongoDB API. This is a great choice if you are having an existing application which works with MongoDB and you want to migrate from MongoDB to Cosmos DB. You simply migrate your data from MongoDB to Azure Cosmos DB and change a connection string. Table API is the other API Cosmos DB offers. This is also a great choice if you have an existing application which works with Azure Table Storage and you want to migrate the data within Table Storage to the Cosmos DB. Cassandra is a popular wide-column NoSQL database. If you have an application which works with Cassandra and you want to migrate your data into Cosmos DB, you can choose the Cassandra API. Simply migrate your data to Azure Cosmos DB and change a connection string in your application to point into Cosmos DB Cassandra API. And finally, the Gremlin API, also known as the Graph API. This API is recommended for both new and existing applications. If you are designing a new application which is going to use the Graph data model, it is a good idea to go with Azure Cosmos DB Gremlin API. This API is also handy for existing applications. You simply migrate your data to Azure Cosmos DB and point your application to use the Cosmos DB Gremlin API. We are going to look into all these APIs separately in the next 5 modules. So Azure Cosmos DB offers a few security features which can be used to protect your data. And most of these security features you'll see here are familiar to you because we discussed the similar features for Azure storage accounts. You can use RBAC to grant permissions to users, groups, and applications to manage your Cosmos DB instance. You can also use firewalls to limit clients who can access Cosmos DB. Azure Cosmos DB can be integrated with a virtual network. This way, you can use network security groups to control inbound and outbound traffic for your Cosmos DB instance. Cross-origin requests can be whitelisted for Azure Cosmos DB as well. So if you have a client-side application which is directly calling Cosmos DB APIs to get data back, you can whitelist those applications in Azure Cosmos DB, so those requests can be made from the browser. You saw the same functionality for Azure storage accounts. And finally, you can use security keys to access Cosmos DB. There are 2 categories for these keys, the read-only keys and the read-write keys. Let's take a look at these security features more closely. You can use role-based access control to grant access to users, groups, or applications in Azure Active Directory. This can be done through the Azure portal or programmatically. You can enable firewalls for Azure Cosmos DB. This way you can whitelist IP addresses of the clients who are allowed to query your data. You can also integrate your Cosmos DB installation with a virtual network and use network security groups to control inbound and outbound traffic. And finally, Azure Cosmos DB now supports private endpoints. You can use private endpoints to privately connect to a service or resource. This way, you don't need to expose your service to the public internet, and the traffic to this service doesn't even go through the public internet infrastructure. This is going to dramatically increase the security of your Cosmos DB installation. You can easily configure the private endpoint in the Azure portal or programmatically. This can be done at the time you are provisioning Azure Cosmos DB or later in the Azure portal. There are 2 sets of keys for Azure Cosmos DB, read-write keys and read-only keys. And as you can guess from the names, if you have a client who only needs to read your Cosmos DB data, you can give them the read-only keys. On the other hand, if you have clients who need to read and write data, you can hand them the read-write keys. And finally, you can whitelist domain names who are allowed to make requests to Azure Cosmos DB data APIs. This is extremely handy if you have client-side applications, for example JavaScript applications, which directly need to call Cosmos DB data APIs. We are going to review these security options in the modules demo.